Are we going right now?
Yeah, it's not live. I think it's pre-taped.
Don't leave me dry.
Oh, hi, Tom. Tom, sorry. Okay,
no
sorry.
problem. Yeah,
okay.
right. Hi, all right.
So,
how you doing?
I'm fine, I'm
Okay,
fine.
good.
Among the albums that you've picked, Björk's. Have you ever heard Björk's first two albums? She recorded a jazz album, which I've never heard in my life, and an album for children.
Yeah.
Really? At 12, she recorded an album for children, and Gling Glue, I think it's called, when she was like 16 or 8, maybe during Sugar Cubes times. Never heard that?
Wow. Oh, right.
You have to check. You live in England. I'm sure you can find the imports.
I'm very envious. I mean, at the age of 12, I wish someone had given me a tape recorder and asked me to make an album. I would have liked nothing better in the whole world.
What do you like about Björk?
I think simply because I just think she's really inspiring. I mean, she is the only pop artist I think at the moment for me I find inspiring.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, her and Michael Stipe still an REM, and that's really it. Other than that, it's sort of people that aren't necessarily involved in white commercial rock.
Yeah, what you admire in her is her creativity. Her voice is totally unique too.
Creativity and the fact that she's been doing it so long and gets better and better, and there's not many people that do that, I don't think, and she's one of them. That's it really. She said hello to me last week.
You personally know Björk?
No, I don't.
No?
She said we did some TV show together, and she said hello to me, and
so she loves you too.
No, she just said hello, but she was, she's being civil. She's being nice. Anyway, yes, but I wouldn't know what to say to her anyway. I didn't say anything.
And particularly that debut album, man.
Well, particularly that because it was, I mean, it's, I really like Post as well, but it's a bit, it's a bit here and there, which I think is fine. I don't, but as an album that I'd put on and turn up really loud in my house and put up shelves, it would be debut.
Something totally different. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
Yeah. Wow. And that was.
When did you discover Miles Davis?
That was sort of about. Well, Johnny bought it for me 2 years ago, and I listened to it once and thought, no, don't like this.
Really?
Like you do with certain albums, you just sort of, no, I can't cope with this. And then I listened to it again, really, really stoned in an airport, and thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then another sort of, I don't know, 6 months went by, and I've just recently started listening to it properly on headphones, really loud. And I mean, I didn't know before, but there's 3 drum kits going on. There's 2 people playing Fender Rhodes pianos, and he's sort of mixing it all up and down. And if you describe that to someone, they'd say, "My God, that sounds like it's going to be awful." But there's something about it that personally, at the moment, that's the most inspiring record I have. I can just put that on and I'm just buzzing for the whole day.
Have you bought other Miles Davis recordings? Or it's the only one?
That's the only one.
Still digesting this
Johnny bought me Kind of Blue as well, and I didn't really like that. I kind of thought it was a bit... there's this Cecil Taylor record where he sounds like he's just... This is some piano player, and he just sounds like he's got the cat, and the cat's sitting down at the piano, and the drummer's out of time, and there's something about it.
Have you ever seen documentaries on Miles Davis?
I haven't, no. Johnny is an obsessive Miles Davis person.
Because he had really a punk attitude towards, his art.
What freaks me out, I was in a record shop in Paris, and for some reason it was Paris, and the Miles Davis section was like a whole blog.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all different. It's like, hey, how'd he do that? He must have had a tape recorder going all his life.
REM now. You've toured with REM, but I'm sure you've taken Life's Pageant.
Life's Pageant because when I was at school, I was really into. I was a total new romantic, and I was
really
Japan freak. I was totally into Japan. And one of my friends, and I'd really gone off guitar music and rock music, and I was just not into it at all. And Life's Pageant, Begin was the record that got me back into electric guitars, you know. Which, of course, when I told Peter Buck that, he thought it was really funny.
But they can still make strong albums, you know, after, you know, been working for 10 years.
I know, it's frightening, really. I mean, but I think, really, the reason they can do that is that they don't have that sort of... They don't have that fundamental belief that they're wonderful, you know. They're hypercritical of everything they do, and they sort of seem to have a sense of humour about what they do. I mean, I think their next record's going to be amazing, simply because of what's going on between the four of them at the moment. You know, sometimes you can just sort of feel it.
Okay. Talking Heads to Remain in Light.
Because it's... Talking Heads to Remain in Light is because I've never heard anything like it. I actually did hear on a radio station back at home at the weekend, they played one sort of really obscure Jamaican track, which sounded a bit like some of Remain in Light, because it was all sort of, you know, all the rhythms were cycling round and round and round and round. There wasn't much going on except this guy uttering rubbish. But it was really sort of, wow, you know. I think Remain in Light is one of those albums I just put it on and I cannot work out how he did it. I just can't work it out, you know. If I ever met David Byrne, I would just sort of pin him down and say, how did you make that record? It's impossible.
I saw that little genius, David Byrne, for sure.
Definitely.
DJ Crush.
Oh, yeah.
Who is he?
He's on Moax, which is James Lavale's dance label in Britain. Probably through Sony here, actually.
Yeah.
DJ Crush, I think he's Japanese. I don't know anything about him.
You know nothing about him, no?
I bought his first album called Turntableized because I like the cover, which was done by 3D from Massive Attack.
Okay.
And I've just bought the new one, which is Meiso, M-E-I-S-O.
Yeah.
And it's just more DJ Crush. It's really, really brilliant. And he's got people singing and rapping on it this time. The first one was instrumental. But he's just basically doing drum breaks, and he's basically just using turntables and virtually nothing else. And I just admire it. He's just really, really good at what he does. They're the best sort of drum breaks I've heard in a long time.
And that's what you discovered recently, DJ Crush.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for stopping at the Cimetière des CD, Thom.